Um, they just, this is August 1st. And my world's been a little crazy today, so I'm business. Somebody a lot back.
Yeah.
Can you all mute your line talking? It's gonna be a really otherwise not it's a little bit better. Thank you, whoever. Awesome. I'll just let you, I don't do that to be like rude. I do it because whoever was going to the playback, they're not going to sit and listen to it when you're not live in the car and stuff. I just know from personal experience. Okay, keep sharing. I'm going to pep up because you guys are going to get me excited. What else are you writing in your business? Come on, I know there's lots of stuff. Somebody share something. I'm just kidding. Not really, actually.
Well, I'm really excited.
Katrina.
Oh, go ahead, Katrina.
Hi, Katrina.
Okay. Hi. I last minute decided to do a vendor event this past weekend up near where my school is, since I'm moving in about a week, 2 hours away. And so I got some contacts up there, and I actually booked a tasting next weekend up there too. So I'm really excited about it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I'm so proud of you. Way to rock the vendor events.
Thanks.
If you're going to go and do them, it's all about meeting people, and Katrina totally gets that. And she's like just helping lead the team in successful events to make new contacts and get out of her circle. So congratulations, Katrina.
Great.
Anyone else? Come on. Jessica, I see. Huffman. Sorry, there's a couple of the same name. I don't know who else is on the phone. Carissa, but who else wants to share? Come on. It's okay if you have background noise while you're sharing. I hope I didn't scare everybody away from coming unmuted. Anyone? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is going to be a boring call. Pep up.
I'm excited because Kayla was so generous, your team, to share the awesome sale that you did last week, because now our team is ramping up for it for this Wednesday, and we almost have 200 people in there right now. So
yay!
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I'd have to
feel like it's drumming up more excitement from people that have been away from Wild Tree on our team too.
Yeah,
now it's kind of bringing them back.
I was telling one of my pacing partners this morning, guys all know I pace with Carissa, but I also have a pacing partner that I've been with for 2 years now, and we're more friends than anything. I don't even know if we really would call it pacing, but this morning that the biggest thing that came from that event, outside of like actual sales figures, you guys, and recruits and bookings, which we got all of that from the event. The other thing that came from it was we just really felt like a part of a community. I don't know, like Katrina, somebody on my team share a little bit about the sale to help Carissa's group. Like, do you have thoughts? What was good for you? Like, what was your favorite part about it? Somebody share something. So it's not just me, but it was great. I'll let somebody go. One?
I don't know. I think what really worked for me to like actually get people to join, like obviously I shared it in my recipe club, like comment below, but I definitely personal message people that I know have ordered in the past, but kind of just haven't really been like responding to me much, or like just haven't ordered in a while. And I like say, hey, you want to join the sale? And they're like, yeah, sure. And like some of those people, they ordered $100 from me that just in one night. So I think that's a good way. If you have customers that haven't ordered in a while, maybe just reach out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I definitely think the key to the sale too is like to think bigger picture. We really tried to remember too, like if we can get a booking or we can get a recruit lead, like that's huge, right? Because that alone takes care of all the work that you put into the sale, like getting people invited. So just really think big picture. Like if you have some hostesses that have been on the fence, ask them if you can add them, because if they set their date then, during this 12-hour sale, because it runs 12 hours, they get a reward for that. So like that was a great way to get some people off the fence. And it was also a great way I didn't have this particular recruit on my radar, but she is joining thanks to the sale. So you never know. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys too. Our totals now, we're up towards $6,000 or $7,000 org sales. I think 5 bookings and a recruit from it. So it was
That's awesome.
yeah, it was a pretty good night. So it was fun too. It was just okay. So let's chat a little bit struggles and places we're stopped. Jess, you shared some work or sent Carissa, you gave some great, like your response great. So can you tell us, Carissa, if you send out your 2-day, 2-week, 2-month follow-up, don't hear back, keep following up?
There's still a lot of background noise, so you're cutting in and out. I don't know what you just said, Kayla.
Can everybody mute their lines if you're on? Oh, I think whoever was hung up, maybe. Okay. I was just saying that this morning, Jess H asked a really good question about follow-up. At some point, she was like, I'm not getting a reply from these people, your 2-day, 2-week, 2-month follow-up. Do you keep following up with them, Carissa, or what's your plan after the 2 months?
Yeah, I do. I follow up with them until they tell me that they're not interested, until I get a response. It might not be, so if I do 2-month or 2-day, 2 weeks, 2-month, depending on their level of interest of where that conversation was, like really interested in attending or ordering or whatever, I will keep, like after that 2 months, it might be a couple weeks or like maybe another month, and then I'll come back in like, hey, just want to check in, I don't want to be a stalker, but I know that you had some interest in getting some more freezer meals, so I just want to make sure that I'm doing my part and following up with you to make sure that I'm giving you all the options available to make that happen. So yeah, I don't just let them go to the wayside, because I feel like if I do that, someone else will just pick them up and service them. Because you don't know what's going on in their life. They might be, you don't know what's going on. A prime example of this is a girl that I had met at my neighbor's house, actually, talking about freezer meal workshops with her, and she's like, oh, that sounds super interesting, like blah, blah, blah. So, like, she's never been to a party, never had Wild Tree. Her and I chatted a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I'll send you a message on Facebook, we'll connect. Well, it was literally almost 7 or 8 months before she finally got back to me and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let's set a date. Let's book a party. I'm so sorry that I dragged my feet, blah, blah, blah. We had a lot of things happen. But, I wasn't kind of like obnoxious about it. Because, there's some people that in other direct sales companies that'll send you a message. For example, there was a Scentsy person over the weekend, sent me a message on Facebook. Hey, just so you know, Scentsy bars are going up September 1st. I know you love the scents, blah, blah, blah. Did you need anything? And I said, and I didn't say anything back because I was busy. I was at my mother-in-law's. 2 hours later, I get another note. Didn't say anything back. The next day, I got another note. Like, just checking back. So that's a little much, but just space it out and just let them know that you're still thinking of them. And if they're not interested, they'll tell you.
And how often do you do that, Carissa? Once you're past, like you did the 2-day, 2-week, 2-month, then what?
I would say it's like, then it comes into like once a month, I would feel. Because I typically have something at my house once a month. So that's always one of my options. Like, hey, I know you really wanted to try the taco seasoning and skillet meals. I sent you a note on April 30th because I keep, remember on my little follow-up video, I keep all my notes on my customer care card.
Yep.
And so I know, like, I sent them a note on April 30th. Hey, I know I sent you a note on April 30th. You didn't respond, so I just want to make sure I touch base. It's actually really professional when they know, like, when you kind of rattle off when you contacted them, what you said, so that they know that you actually care about them and it's not just another sale.
Yeah. So you're telling me you get through your whole customer base every month?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's impressive. There's
Yeah,
definitely,
pretty much. I funnel them through, and then if I start to get behind on like I got a stack here. I'll show you. I'm a little behind,
okay.
and I'll like my back to school party that I'm having. Maybe I'll just take all these guys. I'll look through and see where if there's some that were really like time sensitive. I'll send them a personal message, but maybe I'll just send all these guys an email all at once, say tomorrow, and then I'll file away for the next event or something. Or if it like comes to a point where it's like 6 months and you're like, okay, I still didn't hear back, they're gonna go like in a separate folder with like maybe possible host, possible recruit, whatever type thing.
Okay. Good to know. Jessica, does that help you?
I just think
That's
I feel
helpful
like
to me.
give up on them, unless
Yep.
they're like, leave me alone.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Who else has something that they're stuck on or want help with? We want this call to be about you guys. Like, and then we want to know what we can do to help you more, but we want this to be for you guys. And even us, guys, at my level, we get stuck too. So please share like what you guys are struggling with or what we can help you with.
Kayla,
Yeah.
what really helped when I went back and looked at my numbers and I was like, nobody's responding. You asked about the friends versus customers.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a guess and I said 50% friends and 50% customers. I went back and looked and it was actually like very close to the 60-40. But it's been very eye-opening to me, and it's just made a difference that once I have more customers, I feel like I was almost focusing on people I knew, focusing on my friends and asking them and not getting responses. But now that I'm focusing more on my customers, it's been better.
Awesome. And yes, I will tell you guys so I'm going to be doing a video and Chris is going to want to kill me because it's going to be live and she's not going to be able to share it with you guys. But I'm going to show my team tomorrow, Tuesday, the compound effect of growing a customer base. Because you're exactly right. Like don't get me wrong. You keep being consistent and some of those friends and family are going to jump on the bandwagon 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. I promise. Some of my strongest recruits in 2017 were at my very first party 3.5 years ago. This is a true story. My strongest team leader, Sarah. But that doesn't mean that in the meantime, you can only focus on that, right? Because you're only going to catch one of those out of every month, maybe. The rest of the time, you got to find people who really want what you have. It's a blessing to them. So I'm going to show the compound of whether you're doing online or whether you're doing live. If you do success or you meet people, that's how you grow a customer base. So the reason that I started out the call, I look frazzled, you guys, because Macaulay is screaming bloody murder in the background. He is just besides himself. I think he's sick or what. So bear with me. But I feel like the reason I was celebrating the Facebook sales tonight is all of the Facebook parties I'm having are all new crowds. Like I don't really know the hostess. I don't know any of her people. So to your point, I'm getting them all to go into my recipe club after they place their order. Like that's in the thank you post. Like, thank you for ordering. I'm so excited you picked Ranger Steak Rub. Click here right away, join my recipe club. Yay, for one order closer to the free prize, I'm going to give away 10 orders. And so that's a huge deal. So just keep doing what you're doing and be very aware that you have to be asking the friends and family you have who they know. But in the meantime, then really servicing the people who are already in the business. So thank you for saying that. I hope that that's helpful. Anybody else? That was really good.
Mm-hmm. And like I was telling Kayla, I had a Facebook party last week or so, I think it was. She hit 350 and I booked 3 parties off of it, off the one Facebook party. But that was me also going back in, following up and, having that customer care. I do the customer cares via online too for people. So I can gauge their interest on if they want to host or attend one in my home. And then, yes, add them to, and then that's when I follow up too, like my personal message them, thank them for their order. And I say, hey, I have a recipe club. I'd love for you to join, blah, blah, blah. Now, they're in my recipe club and then they're adding people to it too. And so.
That's awesome. Okay. Anybody finding, well, let's ask this question. Who is going for team leader numbers this month that's on the call? I got to pull up my screen so I can see your guys' faces. Okay. Who is going, there's only a couple of faces, lots of phones. So if you're on the phone, you have to chime in. Who is seriously going for team leader numbers this month? Miranda, yes? Okay, anybody else? Chime in if you're on the phone because I don't really know. Jess Huffman's a yes. Okay, thumbs up. Did I interrupt some? Whose phone number is 6545?
That's mine, Katrina.
Are you going for numbers?
I mean, I have to work really, really hard next week.
Well,
and my recruits.
it's up to you. See, this is one thing I'm going to be really firm on this. And as we move into next month too, I was telling Carissa this earlier today. It's your guys' choice because we'll support you 100%. I'll ask Jess Huffman. I'll stay up till 3 a.m. on month end. Does not bother me one bit. But it's a commitment that you're making to go for it or not. So if you don't know for sure, that's okay. I'm not talking to you, Katrina. I'm talking to anybody that watches playback too. But just if you're going to commit. Because I don't ever remember teetering on it. It was something I hit right off the bat. I knew 40% was better for me if I was going to spend the time working Wild Tree. And maybe that sounds selfish looking back because I honestly didn't care who I blessed or not blessed. I literally was just like, I'm going to hit team leader numbers. Now I'm way about like, I give people the out. Like today I told Carissa, I told Fritz, if you don't want to join, that's okay. I'm signing 7 others this month. So you're either in or you're out. And I love you either way. I think they're both going to join though. That sounded really good when I said I'm signing 7 others. I think it made them flip the switch. But the point is, I don't say that to brag, right? I say it because now I'm that confident. So the confidence comes from when you just commit. So my best advice to anybody on this call that watches the playback is just know what your goals are. It doesn't matter if it's not important. Like if you don't care if you hit team leader this month, then Carissa and I want you to take away from this call, then set yourself up for next month. Set yourself up strong. We don't want you just to push for it and then fall off. We want you to hit it hard, but we want you to hit it if you want to hit it. And P.S., every single one of you in my team, because I can see my stats, could hit leader numbers this month, even with where you're at right now. But Katrina, you're probably right. A lot of you have to bust your booty at this point because we do have, 10 days left? That's plenty of time, but you're going to have to be strategic. You can't just, we'll just see if the sales roll in. Probably not. Who else?
Tammy. So I definitely want to hit team leader numbers this month. I would say that I am at this point, right this minute, probably like $500 away from that one recruit. So what would your strategy be then when you said, you have to create a strategy? Like what would that look like for $500 and one recruit?
Oh, I'm going to let Carissa go first. Well, for a purpose, because Carissa's point of partnering with me this year is we want to be strong directors. And in order to be directors, what has to happen? Who knows the answer? You have to promote
team leaders.
Leaders. I want to let Carissa practice. So Carissa, what do you tell somebody that's going to be about in sales and a recruit away?
500 and one recruit away. 500 total to 3,500.
Oh, to 3,500? No. Okay, no. Then I'm wrong. Never mind.
Okay. You can elaborate, Tammy.
No, I don't know, maybe I just misunderstood. I thought for numbers wise that it had to be you and then 2 other people. But I thought just for the numbers until you were team leader, I guess I was under the impression that once you were team leader, that's when your team needed to be at 3,500 for the month to stay team leader. I guess I didn't realize it was the 3,500 to get to team leader as well.
Yep. So it's 3,500 always. Once you are serious about it, that's got to be basically month 1. And then you never miss, not that you can't miss, I'll explain that another time. But if you never miss 3,500 after that point. So as a group, every month, in order to qualify, you have to do that 2 months. And then after that, you have to continue to do that.
Okay. I don't, yeah, it does. I don't know where in my head that I just had for like team leader numbers to just promote to team leader that it was $1,000 for me and then $350 for my 2 recruits. And then I thought after you promoted, then that's when it had to be 3,500 amongst your team. I misunderstood that somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay. No, that's exactly why we do these calls. So you probably just help somebody else and you don't even know it. Someone's going to watch the playback and it's going to click for them too. Really quick too, probably because we use the term aspiring team leader, and that's where you have to do $1,000 in sales, and then your team has to do 1,000. If you're just doing simple math, the two people need to do 350 plus a little more. That's probably where we got that in your head, and I'll take full responsibility in our team. I recognize aspiring team leaders, Tammy, so that's probably where that came from. And no worries at all. Absolutely. I do think, Tammy, to be a good coach to you, I think next month's going to be your golden month. If you can stack your calendar, I know Gloria's stacking hers. Gloria should have some recruits joining, and I know we just need to work on you getting another recruit or two. But think about puzzle pieces fell in line, how much stronger your month would be.
Right.
You know, if you had 6 people working, because this month Gloria hasn't done really too much. Nothing against her. She just has been busy, and that's okay. But next month she's coming out of the woodwork. I know she's got a bunch of stuff going on. So
she did. I talked to her earlier tonight, and we have a big vendor event also right on October 1st. Like it's a huge vendor event.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think you're going to have in just all seriousness, I think September, October is going to be your promote out is what I'm planning for you. Unless you don't want that or unless you have a different plan, but that's what I was planning all along. So I'm really glad you brought up that there was confusion, because I apologize that we didn't make that clear. But if you have any other questions about the numbers, let me know. But okay, so let's go back to that though, Carissa. She still needs to get that recruit. Any thoughts and ideas? And another $500 would be great for her, because that would be great income for her family. Do you have any ideas or thoughts for her?
Well, as far as the recruit, I would just think, because the reason why I was asking like 500 personal sales or a person or the recruit piece of it, I was thinking like someone joined and they did the $500. That's where my mind went. Like, oh, you signed someone up and double launch them this month to get that $500. That's what I was thinking. But do you have anybody in your funnel for possible recruits that have been sitting on the fence or interested, or that you could load them up on the Discover Wild Tree event this Thursday? And
I'm gonna load somebody up on the Discover Wild Tree event this Thursday. Even though I've asked her more than once now, I think probably twice, to join. She's a close friend of mine, and she's pregnant. She's due any day now. She's been a stay-at-home mom, and just today, so today was the second time I said to her, why don't you think about this? She said to me, because part-time, not part-time, but part of my time I work from home, part of my time I commute into the city. And she would love to work from home. Like, she wants to do something, but she doesn't want to go to work, and she wants to work at home. And I keep telling her about our opportunity, and she's concerned where she lives. She lives upstate New York in the middle of nowhere, where people are not like, they do their grocery shopping in the dollar store, that she's afraid she would have nobody, her exact words to me, I would have nobody to sell this to. And my parents live up there too, and I have a very hard time getting that. They've purchased Wild Tree for me maybe twice, and just this weekend I had a conversation with them. They said to me, it's too expensive. I can buy pancake mix in the dollar store for $1. And then I'm like, you're eating all those chemicals though, and it's not good for you. And their response to me is, well, you have to die of something. So like, that's like thought process there. And so she's just worried that she wouldn't, do very well with it.
I think everybody coming into this, I mean, myself included, I still think about it like, how am I going to have people to be in front of and have events and share Wild Tree? Like, how am I? But you got to really like step outside that friend and family circle and not even think about that. I have several people sitting on the fence that are in similar situations where they're like, I just don't think I have enough people. And it's like, well, you're not going to look to your neighbor, cousin, and aunt to help you grow a business. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, so you, I always tell, you could tell her, like, you got to trust, if you can trust me, trust the process, and trust that I will help you grow your business. It's $50. Like, you go to the dollar store and probably spend $50 on stuff that you don't even need. It's like going to Target and dropping $50 on pillows or something, but I would focus on more than just her. I would really focus your next couple days on having recruiting conversations about the opportunity with other people. Like, I'm probably going to go live in my team page tomorrow about because Kayla had talked last week in our leader page about thinking you're out of business. And I had like a big moment the other day on our way back from Minnesota. I was just like talking to my husband about some things, and all of a sudden I just like looked down, like, who do you know that would love Wild Tree? Like, he's got a bunch of people on Facebook. He works with people. He went to high school. Like, he did all the same, and he rattled off 10 people to me. Out of those 10 people, I contacted 5, and I have 2 Facebook parties. And one's in Ohio and one's in, I can't remember the other one, Minnesota. And just from asking, like, my husband, I've been doing this for how many years? Never would have thought to been like, hey, so who do you know? And he's like, oh, I was deployed with this person. Oh, this guy's wife, she loves to cook. Oh, she shares tasty videos all the time. You should talk to her. And like, that was like a huge moment for me, because I would have just never, it sounds so silly, but I mean, you just got to like think outside of the circle that you're in.
Oh. Here, we'll sit down here, okay? We're going to be on the
I just feel like a lot of people are afraid. They're afraid of this. I'm not going to find, they need to get over their fear. And the thing about the pancake mix, people don't come to Wild Tree for pancake mix. People come to Wild Tree for menu planning services. People don't come to Wild Tree to buy pancake mix. Very rarely do I probably buy more pancake mix than I've ever sold. People come to Wild Tree for their staples, their make fresh, and their frozen dinners. So they can still buy their pancakes from Family Dollar. That's fine. But I guarantee you, Family Dollar is not going to give them a service like Wild Tree does.
Right.
And that is that cost factor. That's probably why also I was celebrating one of my Facebook parties, Tammy. They're in a very poor area, and Jessica knows this. I think the mutual connection here. Hi. They're in such a broke area that I didn't think honestly she'd get orders, and to be honest, they're low. So she's having to get a high volume of them, but she's collecting $20, $30, and $40 orders better than I have hostesses that can get 2 friends to buy $50 and they act like their party's hopeless. That makes sense? So like I sometimes think downplay the benefit of the business, even if her sales maybe aren't going to be ridiculously high, she'll be making money, more money than she is now. Stay at home. And also too, like you've been creative with reaching out and meeting people. I honestly think like all of us, Katrina, myself, all of us run out of people at some point, or we feel like we do. And like Carissa was just saying, you just have to ask who they know. And so we can teach her that. I mean, I don't want you to convince her. And like Carissa was saying, I also don't want you to spend all of your time on her, because we've all made that mistake. I know Jeff Huffman will laugh and smile. We've all put too much time into somebody who just didn't want it as bad as we wanted it for them. But I definitely think it's worth visiting with her. And if she wants to jump on a call with you and I and Jess, we can just answer her questions and talk about that concern and build up before the end of the month when the kit goes in. She would be obviously a launching recruit next month for you to go towards those leader numbers. So let me know. But keep having those conversations.
Okay, I will. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I hope that's helpful. I don't know, is she the same one about the kit that we talked about earlier this month?
No, this is a different person.
Okay, because I would revisit it with the other gal too. And I mean, I would just go back and think back to the beginning, who you've had. And even I think, oh yeah, we already talked about your one recruit. Never mind. Forget that thought. But yeah, go back to everybody else and just say you guys last chance, and it's just too good of a secret to not hear. $50. Are you sure you don't want to give it a shot and launch in September? Because if we could get a bunch of teammates to launch with you in September, that would really boost sales and get you up to 500. Does that help?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. The more people, the better. I know anybody that's been a leader would tell you it's easier to do it with more recruits than it is to just do it with a couple. So in a way, it's a blessing maybe that you misunderstood, because we bought ourselves a little bit of time to get you there. But you're getting close. Congratulations.
Hey, Kayla, why don't you share what you shared on your personal page in the leader group, so that if they want to use those words to share about joining?
Oh, sure.
I'm sure everyone probably saw it. Maybe, I don't know if everyone saw it or not, but
go down. You can't type on my keyboard. Okay, I'll share it as soon as we hang up.
Because yeah, we were talking about kind of like these, like pushing for these. So those that are going for leader, Miranda, Jessica, Miranda, I think is like $700 away or something. So we have a game plan set for Miranda on how we're gonna knock this out these next 10 days. But for those of you that are, close, and if you need some tips and ideas on what you can do to make it happen these next 10 days, reach out on the page and post something. And especially with the recruiting piece, because I feel like that's a big factor too, is the recruiting. Like, how do I get more recruits? So if you need help on, like the 3-way that Kayla was saying, but like using the words, I saw Kayla's post today, I thought it was really great. But we were talking earlier too, like how can we use some words or some like more of like those on the fencers to like get them to pull the trigger, and just like Kayla said, it's $50. Give it a whirl. We'll launch you September. Try it September, October, November. And if by Christmas it's just not for you, you roll back up to me and I'll service you as a customer and a host. But maybe like if we can put something together that Kayla too, to kind of share with those people that everyone's kind of been talking to, because Kayla and I are kind of in the same boat with people where it's like, okay, you gonna shit or get off the pot. Pardon my language. Sorry, Em, for that. But
Honestly, you guys, I'll be honest, the reason I'm going to have a super high recruiting month is I just got really bold about it because I have big goals myself. I want to get the trip for 4. I know that for my family. I want to show Nate, that my husband, that I can do it. I also want to bless, like, I just want to see my team just grow. And the more people we have on it, the more opinions. It's not the Kayla show. I don't know everything. In fact, I don't know nothing. I feel like lately as a mom, holy cow, this mom job is hard. So it's fun to have more people. And so the point is, I just got really bold this month. I went back to everybody I've ever talked to. I sent emails. I've done a lot of work in the recruiting department, and it hasn't taken me a lot of time, to be honest. And it's coming from my heart, so it's easy, natural work. But the point is, there are a couple fence sitters, and I said exactly what Carissa just repeated to you. I told them, give it a shot for $50 because you're not going to want to give it a shot at $129 now that you know that our cost was less. The human brain is just going to tell you it's a waste of money, even though it's not. So try it, and let's just see what happens. And most of those people, you guys, are turning out to be solid recruits. Like, we went from, maybe I'll throw together a lunch party in my first 35 days to, oh my gosh, my friend from work's going to host on the 18th, and I'm going to do a Fall in Love with Wild Tree fall sampler, and I'm going to get my friends together that you already know, Kayla, and I'm going to do an app party and teach them how to use the app. Like, that's a pretty strong recruit lead that all I said to was, let's just give it a go. And if it doesn't work out, you'll roll back up to me. So just be very open-minded. Like, sometimes it's what you're saying, and you just gotta reassure them their $50 will go to good use, because no matter what, you're not going to be disappointed in them. Does that help you guys?
Yes.
Anybody that wants to come snuggle Macaulay?
I'll take them.
I actually can't give him up. He's kind of cute in these puppy dog jammies, but he wants to type on my keyboard, which is becoming a real problem. Go over and play in the dog kennel. Yeah, go play in the dog kennel.
Let's less than 1 minute.
Oh, less than 1 minute? Okay, hurry. Tip. My tip for you guys this week is just to go for your goals. I have big sales goals, and just because it's 10 days from the end of the month and I'm a little bit shorter than what I thought at this point, I'm working harder than ever to get Facebook sales and do whatever I have to do to get there. So go for your goals. That's my tip. Carissa?
My tip is for everyone to recruit someone these last few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Last 10 days. Like, set a goal. Seriously, it's $50. Like, just have that mindset when you're talking to people that you want on your team, that you want to work with, that you've had the conversation with. Seriously, it's $50 to just give it a try and see what happens. They might actually enjoy themselves and have fun and earn a little extra money. Now is the time. I'm telling you.